His supporters claim that he is the antidote that Germany needs to the crisis of confidence in Europe, and a majority of Germans supported him this Sunday to be the next chancellor. The Christian Democrat Friedrich Merz managed to make his party, the conservative CDU, once again the most voted force in Germany in the elections held this Sunday, with 28.6% of the votes. Away from the Bundestag, parliament, for years to dedicate himself to finance and amass a fortune, Merz returned to politics after his great rival in the party, former Chancellor Angela Merkel, retired from politics. Merz has led the Christian Democratic Union since last September, and neither her proposals nor her style could be further from those of the woman who governed Germany for 16 years. The Christian Democrat leader has promised to lower taxes and cut social spending to relaunch Germany's stagnant economy, but also a tough line against illegal immigration, a mantra that the far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD, according to its acronym in German, has made its flag, the second political force in the country after obtaining its best historical result with 20.8%. At the end of January, Merz already used the votes of the extreme right to try to tighten immigration rules, which revealed how far the new leader of the CDU was willing to risk breaking the taboos that until now had dominated German politics. But even if Merz ultimately failed to change the law, his maneuver represented an earthquake in the electoral campaign that precipitated the collapse of the government of socialist Olaf Scholz at the end of last year. However, the winner of this Sunday's elections has said, repeatedly, that he will not agree with the AfD to form a government, and that important ideological issues distance both formations, such as, for example, the ultras' proximity to Russia. Merz has emphasized his defense of Ukraine. "We are not neutral," he said in one of the last debates before the elections, where he reaffirmed that, "This is also why I will do everything possible to ensure that the AfD does not enter the government." With the AfD ruled out, now the question is, who it will form a government with. Merz said Sunday night that AfD leader Alice Weidel does not want to solve Germany's problems, because they are happy that the problems are getting worse and worse. So who can he govern with? The Social Democrats are the obvious choice, although they will have to find points of agreement on the economy and migration. If Merz needs the Greens, he will have to overcome the animosity between the two parties. In recent weeks Merz criticized the leader of the Greens, Robert Habeck, while Markus Söder, leader of the Christian Democrats of the state of Bavaria, ruled out any pact with the environmentalists, the fourth force in parliament. "A government without the Greens would be a better government," said Söder, while Merz also prefers a single partner instead of two. Tall, he is 198 slim, always in an impeccable suit and glasses, Merz offers a calm, conventional image of a businessman willing to exercise power. In a country where politicians do not usually flaunt their wealth, and where ostentation is viewed with suspicion, Merz, who has a pilot's license, starred in an anecdote in 2020 that reveals that he is not a typical conservative politician. Invited to the wedding of fellow politician Christian Lindner on the island of Sylt, in northern Germany, Merz showed up at the wedding piloting his own plane, a Diamond DAE-62, which sparked numerous criticisms. Instead of being intimidated, the current leader of the CDU defended himself by ensuring that any official vehicle used more fuel than his small plane. His attitude may reflect a change in German politics, which until not so long ago considered Merz a figure of the past. His path to the chancellorship has not been easy. Conservative and rebel, Merz was born in the German city of Brilon in 1955, into a conservative Catholic family. His father was a local judge, as is his wife Charlotte, to whom he has been married for 40 years. He felt a political inclination from a very young age, having joined the CDU while still at school. Despite his conservative upbringing, Merz has in the past offered glimpses of a more rebellious youth than one might have assumed. In an interview given 25 years ago to the German newspaper Tagesspiegel, Merz said that he would race his motorcycle through the streets, that he would hang out with his friends next to a French fry stand, and that he would play cards in the back of the class. At a teenage party he talked about, a group of students ended up urinating in the school aquarium, according to Der Spiegel magazine. But there is some skepticism about whether the teenage Merz was really a hooligan, or whether this was a way to soften his image. People who know him and have been close to him told the BBC's Berlin correspondent, Jessica Parker, that he likes to go out for a beer, and that it can be fun, although few could offer him an anecdote to illustrate this. After school, Merz did military service before studying law and marrying his classmate Charlotte Gass in 1981. The couple has 3 children. He worked as a lawyer for a few years, but was always interested in politics, and in 1989, aged 33, he was elected to the European Parliament. We were both quite young and we could say not very contaminated, said Dagmar Roth-Behrendt, who became an MEP at the same time, for the center-left Social Democratic Party of Germany, SPD. Young Merz seemed serious, reliable, honest and polite, even funny, a quality that now seems less evident to him. I suppose the number of blows suffered over time will have toughened him a little, but was he seen at the beginning of his career as a potential chancellor? I probably would have said no way, Roth-Behrendt told Jessica Parker.